Today on All Things 80s, it's the R2-Q5 from Smith Lord Creations. Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now today we're going to take a real good look at the R2-Q5 from Smith Lord Creations. Now here in America, you can get these via the Fan Strikes Back. I'm not sure if in the UK you can buy these directly from Smith Lord Creations, but regardless, if you are in a position to get hold of some of these, I highly recommend it because the quality is absolutely outstanding. Now at first glance, this could easily have come straight from 1984. The packaging is just spot on with a fantastic graphic. It feels good. The cardstock used is exactly the same as it was done by Kenner back in the 80s. It's been discussed many times, but the current Hasbro Retro Collection figures, the cardstock they have used is extremely flimsy. This, however, is nice and thick. The print is amazing. Nice feel to it. Also, they go one step further, and where the bubble is attached to the card back, it does have that classic Kenner waffle pattern. So they really have gone above and beyond in terms of trying to get things looking as authentic as possible. Now the figure itself, R2-Q5, Kenner really did miss a trick back in the 80s because this would have been an ideal figure for them to have released on the Return of the Jedi series. You know, given that they gave us figures such as Amanaman and Yak Face, who had absolute minimal screen time, the fact that this character, blink and you'll miss him in the original cut of Return of the Jedi, and he does make a reasonable appearance in one of the deleted scenes from that Blu-ray release, where he's, you know, strolling past Lord Vader. There was no reason not to have released this. Now, what Smith Lord Creations have done is they've taken their mold for the recent R2-D2 with pop-up lightsaber reissue and cast it in different color plastic and different decal, and obviously something that is not at all screen authentic is this one does contain Darth Vader's lightsaber in pop-up form, which is quite funny. Again, there's no question of this being a reproduction because it never was done in the first place. But as always, they have branded it with Smith Lord Creations on the back, which is a nice little touch there. I'm going to get this thing opened up and we'll talk about how good the actual figure is. So now we've got R2-Q5 out of the packaging, and my first impressions are that this is a fantastic job. It feels right. The plastic feels like genuine Kenner vintage. The decal they've used, I initially thought was just a different color scheme of the R2-D2 decal. It is actually slightly different in design, so that a bit of work went into that. The rotating dome has the right sound and the right feel to it, and of course by doing so does release Darth Vader's red lightsaber, which, whilst this is not screen accurate, that's not really the point. Now, when you think about some of these figures that Kenner did give us in the Power of the Force line, Yak Face, Amanaman, which had minimal screen time, it's a real travesty that they didn't think to actually give us this figure, because there really were not enough droids released by Kenner back in the day. And especially, I think they only had the Death Star droid as being the only Imperial droid that we ever got. Would have been nice to have had this. However, it was nice to experience opening a new figure from the vintage line in 2020. So I'm really grateful for having had that opportunity. Now, when you compare it side by side with the green pop-up lightsaber R2-D2, these really do go well together, and it's like a real, you know, good and bad evil twin type scenario, and this will look fantastic in any collection. Now, thankfully, Smith Lord are continuing the great work and will be hopefully soon releasing the unreleased 13 Star Wars figures, and they've done from what I've seen, they've done a grand job of designing those, and they have picked out some pretty important characters from the movie that Kenner decided to overlook. So we're going to finally have a real complete collection. So look forward to those. And in the meantime, all I can say is thank you for watching this. If you want to go ahead and order these, that's entirely up to you. I purchased this myself. I am in no way affiliated with Smith Lord Creations or the Fan Strikes Back. I'm just giving my honest opinion on these. And please like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.